The Olympics showcases the world's best athletes, and it's a time where world records are set and broken. With the Olympics being a showcase of talent, should it be focused more on breaking records, or should it be more focused on the athletes that adapt best to the conditions present at the time of their competition? I'm joined by our experts Emmanuel Taube, Matt Holzoffel, and Jenny Berman to break it all down. So who wants to start about this debate? Is it more important to set records or to be the best in adapting to the different conditions?
So I look at this and I say, should the Olympics be about who does the best tricks and best stunts, or should it be about somebody who is the best athlete? And I think if you're talking about outdoor winter sports, which tend to come here, is that you should be used to playing in the snow, in the wind, in any kind of condition that would set you off your game.
Okay, so playing in the snow is great, but what goes down in the record books? The records, the best tricks, the best stunts, like you said, the medals, that's what people remember.
How many gold medals you win is what people remember.
Exactly, and you win them for, you set records, the winners are setting records, world records, Olympic records.
Even if the score is something low because you had to do a more conservative type of run, it's still a gold medal no matter what.
But when you start looking at like conditions, you know, the weather, then we start getting back to, you know, what truly is like the perfect condition. Is there a perfect condition when you're doing a sport, when you're doing like snowboarding or something like that? There's always going to be some kind of factor that's going to be affecting how you do, like how you perform.
And there are certain sports like ski jumping where there are actually the weather is built into the scoring. The wind conditions and the height of the jump is built into the scoring. So there are elements where Jenny's actually right. They are actually awarding the best performance in the different weather conditions.
No, but they're all in the same weather conditions though. So it's like, are they really awarding the best person in the weather conditions, or are they just kind of closing the gap in terms of making sure it's not really a huge advantage?
Well, if you look at the slopestyle event in the women's that happened this Olympics, where there was so much wind that some athletes weren't able to complete the runs they wanted to do, some weren't able to do the jumps that they wanted to do, and yet still the best athlete, Jamie Anderson from the U.S., who won in gold in Sochi last year, she still won. So I feel like that says, isn't she the best by virtue of
let me ask you this then. In the record books where it says she won the gold medal, is there going to be an asterisk that says, oh, she did this in extreme conditions? Exactly, because that's not as important as winning the gold medal.
But she didn't set a record. She won a gold medal. It wasn't about the record. It was a low score, and she still got gold.
I know, but if you look at the records, you know, it's just something that we immortalize athletes in that record book. Like, no one really remembers, like Matt was saying, no one really remembers the conditions of how it happened, the weather, you know, whether it was partly cloudy or whatever. But we look at the athlete and he's immortalized. He's there forever until someone else breaks that record. So to me, if you are looking at the conditions, I don't think that you should really put like all of your fate in that. Just, you know, look at the records. Look at who's number one. Look at who's the actual, like, the best in the world.
But
with
even
the
some
best
of the
time.
biggest records don't even get set at the Olympics. Does that matter then? I mean, the 100s that we've seen from Shaun White and Chloe Kim, those didn't come at the Olympics. Those came at the X Games or other competitions. So do those not matter then?
I think we're also discounting the fact that in extreme weather, the events are canceled or postponed. This isn't like they're doing in gale force winds with snow whipping everywhere. It's bad. It's not normal, but this isn't like a hurricane type deal where it's just wind whipping everywhere. Because they've canceled events this exactly. So it's not worth noting that unless they win a gold medal.
We're not going to want people to get hurt, but there are athletes who comment and they make excuses. They say that, oh, the wind set me off my game. Well, the wind didn't set the gold medal winner off her.
Because that's what they're supposed to do. That's why they're here, to compete no matter what the weather is.
But plenty of athletes have used that as an excuse.
But the question is, what's more impressive? What should be counted? Obviously, I know you're talking about the record books here, but the question is, what's more impressive? Is it more impressive to set the record, or is it more impressive to adapt to these ridiculous conditions? Yes, everyone has to deal with them, but to deal with them the best.
Honestly, I feel I'm just stuck on kind of the record. You know, when I think of the record, I think of the best. You know, I don't really think of what happened kind of in that race. I just think of, wow, no one on this planet did this run, did this ski jump, did this better than this person right here. And that's what I think of. So I have to give it to the record.
Exactly. I agree. And not to discount anyone who's doing great things in abnormal weather, but you see that now in the new technology, put the world record time in front of people. So they're really keeping track of that because that's what carries the most weight nowadays.
I don't agree. I think that you see, and especially we've seen it in this Olympics, where the 26th best skier in the competition wins because she was able to adapt to the course better than even the best in the world. And I think we should commend who is doing the best on any given day.
I mean, I think it makes for a good story. I think we can, still like clap our hands to them. But when we're, trying to compare them against someone else who broke the record, to me, there's no comparison. And we can still give them credit, but
Medal's
how
medal,
much
though.
credit?
The
How
medal
much credit
is the
can we
medal.
give them? The record is the record.
The record is the record, but in the grand scheme of things, Jenny's right here. A gold medal in 2018 in Pyeongchang is the same thing as a gold medal in Sochi. All you have to do is get the gold, and that's why I'm kind of with Jenny on this one, and just that it's so much harder to adapt to these conditions. And to say that people don't remember the conditions, that's not true either. To take it to another sport back here in the States, people remember the snowpocalypse games in football. They're not the record setters, but those are the ones that everyone remembers because they're so crazy.
Because in the Winter Olympics, it's all snow. People are preparing to perform in cold weather with, snow coming down, maybe even wind. So they're preparing for that. They should be ready to compete in those odd conditions. Football is different because you're not expecting to go out in the snow every week.
Just because they should be doesn't mean they still don't fall back on it as a
Tough
crutch,
debate. I see both sides, but still, an incredible Olympics regardless. Great
Definitely.
performances regardless.
Definitely.
That's all the time we have for this Olympic edition of One-on-One Sports. Special thanks to all our talent, crew, and you, the viewer, for tuning in. If you missed anything or want to check us out on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, you can do all that all at One-on-One Sports. Until next time, whose side are you on?